everybody. Welcome to our Day 2 recap of E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo. So
that's what the third E stands for.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. So, E3 Day 2 has finally come to a close. So, we're going to go ahead and... We're going to go ahead and talk about that now. So, as you probably already know, I'm joined by my good friend ShadowLink. Say hello, ShadowLink.
Well, everyone, this is ShadowLink here.
Yeah, okay. All right, so, as I said yesterday, I think I said this yesterday, but today, Day 2, was dedicated almost entirely to Link's Awakening, Zelda, for the Switch.
Yes.
So, I say entirely dedicated because the line for everything Nintendo related at this entire expo seems to cap out at the very beginning of the day. So, here's how my day started. Here's how our day started, I should say. Woke up, got to the convention center maybe around like 30 minutes before it opened. So, not as early as we wanted to, but still early enough, I felt like. And even with, right after opening, going almost straight to the Zelda Link's Awakening line, we were already looking at a 4.5 hour wait.
Yeah.
So, we were parked in that line for a good while. We played some Smash Brothers. We played Mario Kart. I got to see some friends from Nintendo K, Danny and Evelyn. How's it going, guys? Love you so much. And we mostly kind of just sat there and hung out for like the better part of 5 hours.
Oh yeah, it was the most challenging part of today was just trying to find what to fill the void of time with.
It got to the point where your data, is gone.
I used up all of my data. I don't have unlimited data because I'm not on that.
We're
plan.
grandfathered in.
I'm not grandfathered. I'm also, I'm also not the one who pays the phone bill.
Well, that might do it.
There's that too.
If that gives you any sort of indication as to how long we were in line for a while.
Yeah.
But the good news is at the very end of the line, Zelda, Link's Awakening, finally got to play it, and I'm going to go ahead and say ahead of time, I've said this a couple times already, but just for clarification, I've never played this game before.
Same.
Zelda Link's Awakening is apparently a game that came out 26 years ago at this point in time. And I wasn't alive 26 years ago. I was close, but not alive at that point. So I have never played Link's Awakening. I've never played a 2D Zelda game for that matter. So this is my first experience with one.
Disgusting. Absolute disgusting.
Hey, you can say all you want. You know, I'm numb to it at this point. People have given me garbage over the years for not having played them. But this very well might be my first. So from what I played, I'll just go ahead and go into my experience and I'll hand it over to you.
Okay.
My experience of the game was very pleasant. It was very much like the person I got this time was very similar to the person that I got for Pokemon yesterday, where she was very hands-off, So basically I walk up to the demo station and she's like, hey, how's it going? She was super pepped up and she was like, have you ever played a Zelda game before? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, cool. Well, here you go. And then that's it. But I think to that point, it kind of felt very much like she was nudging me into being able to explore the demo, because this demo was way more expansive than Pokemon Sword and Shield was. You had an entire field. You had the field, you had the forest area, there was a couple of caves you can go into, and potion shops and people in the town. So all this was based on a time limit, so you if you ran out of time before you got to the boss fight or whatever, you would just run out of time, which is what happened to me. So most of my time was kind of spent walking around this island and exploring the beaches and the town, talking to some of the townsfolk. I'd never played this game before, so I was just kind of wandering around and seeing what I could find. But over the course of my demo, I got to experience combat. I got the Master Shield and the Master Sword, or not the Master Sword. I don't think it was the Master Sword.
It's not the Master.
I think it was a sword.
It's a sword.
Yeah, but the Master Shield, you know what I mean, right?
Hylian Shield.
The Hylian Shield, that's the one.
There it is.
It's a long day. But I got those equipped. I was able to get some combat in the forest areas and beach area. And overall, it was a really pleasant game. I will say, though, I don't know if this is a 2D Zelda game or just me being lost, but I got sidetracked really easily and lost my way a couple of times during that demo. It kind of felt like the current objective wasn't super clear a lot of the time.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not
okay.
at
Yeah.
all.
So it very much felt like I'm not saying that's a bad thing. So here's what my thought process was. I was thinking like, oh, wow, this is really easy to get lost in, but I'm kind of feeling like because she was very much like nudging me to explore, and that the game is so big and there's like not a super clear objective. I feel like the main purpose of the game is to just explore and see what you can find. So that was kind of my impressions about it. I will say also that the demo build that I played, I noticed this, and I fully expect this to change at some point before the game's released, but I noticed that indoors, in buildings, and inside dungeons, the game ran at 60 frames per second. But anywhere within the overworld, it dipped down to 30. So I don't know if that was like a demo build thing or if the game is going to be designed that way. But just a little thing I noticed. I don't know. I feel like most people aren't even going to catch that anyway. But
you said that, and I was just like, was there a frame counter? Like
no, there
just
wasn't.
didn't
But
see.
you just see like the fluid movements of Link swinging his sword within the dungeons, and you walk out of it, and everything's a little bit more like it's a meme, but like cinematic looking. So it was good. I don't know. It was like the for being the first time that I've ever played a Zelda game, like a 2D Zelda game. It felt good. The game ran smooth. The game itself, visually, is very charming, very cute. And that is largely in part due to the chibi art style that they chose to go with this game. Mm-hmm. I also thought that the current music, the soundtrack that's present in the game, is also very cute, but I said this to him a couple of times while we were in line, that in terms of instrumentation, so like what sort of musical instruments you hear in the soundtrack, it felt very Wind Waker to me. So there's a lot of woodwinds and a lot of, this sort of, it has like a sort of bounce to it. So I don't know. I will say though that I'm really enjoying the soundtrack, really enjoying the game. Visually, it's stunning, and you can go ahead and, how did your demo experience go?
Let's see, my demo experience went, well, a lot of what you said is a lot of them I'm gonna end up saying, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and condense it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I walk up to the young person, ask me some questions like, oh, you ever played a Zelda game before? And like, yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
let me tell you. My name is ShadowLink. Dude, you know me? The winner of the 2019.
And I was like, yeah, but actually I've never played Link's Awakening. And then she kind of gave me this like, oh, okay. Like this.
She's like, oh, well, give me that controller. You're gone.
It was kind of funny. So it was totally probably just one of those like brain fart moments for her, but it was kind of funny the way that she kind of reacted to me on that. But she was like, yeah, I mean, here, if you know what you're doing, I'm gonna give you the controller. Here are the controls that you're gonna need to know, and I'm gonna let you do your own thing. I'm gonna let you do your own thing, let you enjoy the gameplay. If you need any help, just call me. And I'm like, all right, sounds good.
See, that's like ideal for a game like that, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's
like, it wasn't one of those things where it's like, it just said, here you go. She was like, if you need any help, just call me, but I'm gonna let you enjoy your gameplay.
Yeah.
And like, she was just upfront about it.
Feels very encouraging.
So, yeah, I decided to try and complete the quest that they were assigning me. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to like speed run my way through this game and be like, where do I go?
You're doing all the errands across the map.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, gotta get to the beach to get my sword. All right, gotta go to the mysterious forest right up above. Gotta go, gotta get a mushroom. Gotta go to the witch. Gotta make the powder. So I'm just like, I'm doing my best.
You got past the witch?
Yeah, I got past the witch. I actually made it all the way to the first dungeon of the game.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
I made it into the dungeon. I didn't get very far because once I got into the dungeon, I was like, oh no. If I know nothing about this dungeon, it's gonna take me forever to get through it. So my demo ended with me trying to figure out how to get throughout the dungeon. So it was pretty fun though. But like you said, the game looks really cute. I really love the art style. I like the way that everything moves around. I didn't notice like the whole frame difference or anything, but that's because you have two eyes. I have one. So it's pretty hard to notice that. And then the soundtrack, even though we listened to it at least 50 times while we were waiting in line, it sounded very playful and very cute.
It didn't annoy me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was overplayed too much, despite the fact that we were hearing it the entire time we were there. It's still like it didn't get old.
No,
I don't know. I liked it.
It was very soothing and very calming. At least most of the stuff that they played is just kind of like overworld music and like stuff, not like dungeon boss music or anything, but just like it was very soothing and very calm. And honestly, if we weren't waiting in line, I could probably fall asleep to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, have you ever like fell asleep to Twilight Princess or like Wind Waker music?
No.
Oh, it's so great. Or Breath of the Wild.
Breath of
has
the
like
Wild.
a perfect soundtrack for that.
It does.
It's so minimalist. Anyway.
But at the very end of the demo.
Wait, I know what you're gonna.
I'll
hold
go
on.
grab it.
Wait, I'm gonna grab mine too. There's no one in the frame. There's no one in the frame. Wait, mine's right here. Mine's in my backpack.
I already have it. At the very end of the demo, honestly, this was at least 60% of the reason why we waited 4 hours in line for this.
It's funny that this was a selling point for me.
We got. Look at that. We got.
Look at how cute. See? Look at how cute their little keychains and like they don't feel cheap. They feel very well made.
Yeah, and
it's like honestly, a really nice plastic.
Honestly, I'm so glad that they've been giving away stuff like this for the demo because this is so worth it. I can't tell you how many people on Twitter have been told me like, "Oh my god, I'm jealous," and I'm just like, well. I waited 4 hours in line for that. So
stop.
I suffered a lot for that one. I lost all my data. I lost all my patient. I lost all my data. So that's really all that became of it. So all in all, worth the wait to an extent.
Worth the wait. I think I walked away very pleased.
Yeah,
I was going into it expecting. I was going into it not really expecting much because I was thinking, a little 2D Zelda, like I don't really feel drawn to playing them at all. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you the reason why, but
because he's a bad man.
But I will say, as a redeeming factor to what you just said, that I really enjoyed walking away from Link's Awakening. You've never played it either, though.
I've never played it either, but I've played things like Link to the Past. Minish Cap. What else is there? Minish Cap. Link to the Past.
Oracle of Seasons.
I actually haven't played Oracle Seasons, Oracle of Ages.
Yeah.
Those like Link's Awakening.
Triforce Heroes.
Triforce Heroes. I actually have the game. But yeah, Oracle of Seasons, Link's Awakening, Oracle of Ages. Those are like the 3 like old Zelda games that I have not touched.
Wow.
I've seen a little bit of gameplay for all of them, but I have never touched them. Actually, so pretty much every other Zelda game, or at least every one that was on the handheld systems, I have already played.
Wow, so this is like very familiar to you then.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, cool. So that was our experience with Link's Awakening. Awesome, super cool. I loved it. He just missed the trash can.
No, I totally made it. You guys he can't prove anything. Totally made it.
So, that took up most of the day today. However, we did have some extra time at the very end of the day to...
barely.
We had like an extra hour and a half or 2 hours somewhere in there, but we managed to fit in some time playing some of the other Switch games that were available at the booth. So I think, in chronological order, I think I played Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, which is a long title, by the way. The game after that I played was Resident Evil 5, which didn't run very well on the Switch. I will say that. It just didn't. It was. Anyways, moving on. Resident Evil 5 I played, and then after that I think I played Marvel versus. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, something like that.
3 or something. I don't know. I'm not a big Marvel fan, as I said before on the channel, so like I don't really know what exactly it was I played. It was like something Marvel related, but
it's basically it was basically like a huge beat 'em up.
Yeah, it was like a huge co-op 4-player beat 'em up style game that featured like a whole bunch of Marvel characters. So there was that. I mean, it was fun. I don't think I would go out and buy it, but we played that. We also followed up with Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yes.
For the Switch as well, which also kind of struggled in a couple of different instances, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of allude that to the fact that it's a beta or like a demo build. So so there was that. That was actually pretty good. I've played Wolfenstein in the past before. I played I believe it was New Order, I think was the one. And Youngblood played very similarly, which is great because Wolfenstein has some really fun gameplay to it. So that was fun. The cool thing about that demo, though, is that it was co-op. So
Yeah.
Wolfenstein historically has always been a single-player like campaign experience, but the big thing with this one is that it's co-op, and the demo booth had co-op sessions set up. So I was playing with like some random guy, and we tore through those levels. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Did you have any? You played that too. So
I played that with Electra. And
did you have any thoughts on that, or?
I mean, it was pretty much basically just kind of the basic stuff I'd expect out of a story FPS game. So yeah.
You have no experience with Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein, no, but I mean, I played Call of Duty, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
like an epic gamer, man.
Honestly, if you played one FPS, you've probably played most of them.
Yeah.
So Wolfenstein, I thought it was good. I might get it. Actually, I enjoyed New Order, but after that, I played the final game of the day, which for me was Elder Scrolls Blades.
Oh my god! I'll be honest. I have lots of questions about that one.
It was weird. So I'm also going to be upfront about this one and say I've never played through an entire Elder Scrolls title before. Skyrim, have played a little bit, but never actually beat it. And anything before that, no. I've always just been more of a Fallout guy than anything else. So this is like my first, like deep dive again into like an Elder Scrolls game. And Blades, I don't know. I feel like because it was, to me, it kind of, if I remember correctly, Bethesda was talking about this at their E3 press conference, and I think it was a mobile game before it came to the Switch. So, it was basically like just playing a mobile game, ported over to the Switch, and it was okay. The demo itself was very, like, they give you max level, and you have, like, all these healing abilities, so, like, you can never really die during the demo.
Yeah.
And the combat itself felt very, I don't know, just, like, slow? I don't know.
It felt very fixed, if anything, because you couldn't move anywhere. You were pretty much just playing Sword and Shield. Like once the monster walked up to you, it was like, all right, you're forced into combat.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's a good way to put it. So in terms of gameplay format, it felt very much like a Final Fantasy or Pokemon game where you have these creatures roaming around in the overworld, and then you approach one, and then the battle starts, which ends up being turn-based. So, being that I knew nothing about Elder Scrolls, and that, that's really it. Like, because I don't know much about it, I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as the next guy would. But that was, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I walked away from it very like meh.
Yeah, I mean, I've played Skyrim before, and not a whole lot of it. But I've also like seen Skyrim gameplay, and so if I were to compare that to what I played on this, I feel like Skyrim's like the final version of what that is. And so I was just like, all right, this is a game. Okay, this is like beta Skyrim. If I'm being completely honest, that's how it felt like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it's probably a good game for the right audience, because for me, it kind of just felt lost in translation. So for me, it was very meh. It seems like it was the same thing for you.
Yeah.
And,
but you know what wasn't meh, though?
What?
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
He's only bringing this up because he won every mini game or something by fluke. Random happenstance.
This man is a sore loser.
Wait, we should probably go into a little bit more into that.
Yeah, but it was the games were actually really fun, and something that I did like about it was they gave you options for either motion controllers or buttons. Like it didn't force you.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Motion controls.
Yeah, because of the previous ones, like they kind of locked you into the motion controls, right?
I'm pretty sure they didn't give you an option. If I'm not mistaken.
I've never played any of the Mario and Sonic games either, so this is my first experience with that too.
I played the first one.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going based off of.
Yeah. Well, cool. What games did we play?
We had the 110-meter hurdles.
Okay, so that one was busted. That one was busted. It had you do like this weird like arm motion.
We had to like whip it in order to jump.
So like you were doing this, to run as if you were like running in place, but with one arm because we were playing in 2-player. And so I was like running around doing this, and then in the middle of running, you have these hurdles you have to jump over. Which to jump over them, you have to do like
you
this
you
motion.
have to like hold the L or R button and.
So you have to be out here like.
You have to be at the. You literally have to be at the club and then just like whip, and it's just in order to jump.
That felt so awkward.
It was just so funny to try though. It was hilarious. But it was a good
bless
time.
those demo people for not busting out laughing every time someone plays those games.
I know. And
but
next up there was skateboarding.
Oh, skateboarding was great because I picked Princess Peach and she was tearing it up on that half pipe. She was flipping some mad ollies, throwing out those sick kick flips, dude. Oh my god. It was great. Who did you pick in that round?
I picked Sonic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it was basically Alec just put it as like, oh yeah, it's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a clunk, like I wouldn't say clunkier, but like a little bit more awkward version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater because some of the animations weren't quite as fluid, but it makes sense because it's not a skateboard game; it's a skateboard game alongside a bunch of other mini games.
Yeah.
So, but that mini game was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, I enjoyed it.
I
thought it was cool, and her super, I think is what the guy called it.
Yeah.
She did like some super awesome like 360 kickflip into the air off the half pipe. I thought the animation for that was really cool. That's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. So that was the highlight of that round, I think.
Yeah, and then next up they had, what was it?
What did you pick?
Karate.
Oh, you took karate. So you picked Princess Peach that round.
Yes.
Right, and then I picked Mario, and nothing brings a smile to my face quicker than seeing Mario perform this sick uppercut right into Princess Peach's jaw. It was great. So that game goes off like rounds. In the first round, you have Mario just like, he's wearing like this karate suit and he's like, bah! He like socks her right in the face and it's
no
just
mercy.
No mercy at all.
She goes flying.
She goes flying. She takes it. She takes it right into the face and it was so funny.
But you know what I found funny about that game is it wasn't super basic. Like it wasn't just like, all right, a punch.
Oh, it had some really
It was basically like a mini fighting game. Like there was like kind of like combo moves almost that you could perform. I noticed that I got like a 3 combo at the very end to finish them all.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
What the heck? And there's like a rock paper scissors to it too, where they have
blocks, takedowns.
Block beats attack, takedown beats block, and attack beats takedown. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So that I feel like that was the rock paper scissors of that game, and there wasn't that. I'm pretty sure for every game they had like there's the basic controls which we all saw, and then there's advanced controls. So I feel like if we looked into advanced controls, there would be like fucking some A B up down,
probably,
and you have to do some ultimate ability.
Probably.
But the game was basically if you get hit 11 times,
you win.
Then you lose. Well, you lose if you get hit 11 times. But
oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it pretty much went on not like a health bar, but a point system, how many hits you land. And it was a basic hit gave you 1, takedown gave you 2, and like a charged up hit would give you 3.
Yeah. That game had some pretty solid depth to it.
There was a lot of depth to that game. I kind of appreciate that, honestly.
Needless to say, at the end of that round, Princess Peach kept her title as Queen of the Princess of the Mushroom Kingdom. So, anyways, moving on from that experience, what did we play next?
There was Hanzo Simulator.
Oh, it was
archery.
There was archery, which kind of felt very, I don't know, just it didn't feel like I was making any sort of meaningful impact as to where the arrow was gonna go. You know?
No, well, I think, here's the thing. Using button controls with archery makes it very, very simple for the most part.
Okay, yeah, I can buy that.
It makes the game very simplistic until they like move it further back and then they add wind to it, because that's when you have to account for then arrow drop and then like wind speed, and then if you do motion controls, then you have to use 2 for it. You can't just use 1 and be like,
that makes sense, yeah.
Because you have to hold the bow and then you have to aim it and then move it around. So, yeah, but honestly, I've played like motion archery before.
I played Link's crossbow training.
I played I actually had PlayStation motion controls and I played some of the sports games. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
pretty sure they had archery, so I feel like that's what I could compare it to.
Oh, that's why you were such a pro at it, apparently.
Okay. But I'd say that game was pretty fun too.
Archery,
Nice.
yeah, it was okay. I feel like, yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from with, like, if you put on motion controls, it would probably play out a little bit better.
Yeah, it'd be more fun and be like more depth to it.
Yeah.
But
And then the last one was
surfing.
Surfing, which I don't have very much memory of doing.
Because we got cut off. That was where the demo ended. Our demo cut off in the middle of surfing.
That's right. Okay, now I remember. It's because I was winning. The first mini game I was winning was surfing. I was pulling off some sick tricks with Peach again. She was out on the it was Amy Rose?
You did Amy.
That's her name?
Yeah, you had
from
Amy.
Sonic? Yeah, okay. I was playing Amy Rose. He was playing Peach. And I was pulling off some sick moves, and then even the rep was like, whoa, like, exclaiming at how good I was doing, and then the demo ended. And I was like, what? What?
So, needless to
Ripped
say...
off!
So,
Refund!
I won 4-0 against Mr. alecandstuff here.
You're a Mario and Sonic champion.
I am a Mario and Sonic champion. That is very much need to be known. Speaking of that, though, after we did all those games, we actually went to the Mario and Sonic area.
Oh, yeah.
And then we ended up doing some rock climbing.
So Mario and Sonic has this booth at the E3 this year that's basically designed like a track and field where you have this like this track laid out on the ground, and you have these big posters for Mario and Sonic, and there's like gameplay demos all around. But the main thing is there is this giant rock wall that they let people climb, and if you make it to the top, you get a shirt. And we got to do that as our last thing for the day. And let me tell you, I felt like a modern day Breath of the Wild Link. I will say that. Climbing that wall like it's no biggie.
It was a lot of fun. Even though the wall wasn't that high, they were like, everyone sign these waivers, please, so that you don't die and you can't get sued. And
Well, you're not signing it because they don't want you to die. They're signing it. They want you to sign it because if you do die, they're not liable.
Exactly, pretty much. But it was really fun.
It was pretty funny.
We did it at the end of the day, so there wasn't really a line for it. So you're just like, sure, why not?
Yeah. After tiring ourselves out for the rest of the day, we figured, why not? Let's just do some rock climbing.
Let's just do some rock climbing. I'm someone who, if I ever see a rock wall anywhere, I always want to climb it.
Wait, what?
No, literally, like.
What? Like you're walking around town and you're just like.
No, but like
you.
like literally, anytime there's like a rock wall thing, and like when I'm on vacation, I'm just like, I want to do that because I want to see if I can do it.
Wow.
So I mean, if like there was one time where I was on a cruise and I saw it, I was like, oh,
why did you see a rock wall on a cruise?
Listen, because they put it on there.
Oh, like on the ship?
Yeah.
Oh.
On the ship.
No, I thought you were like looking over the balcony, like saw a rock wall, and you're like.
But anyways, the shirt that they gave us, I'm just gonna use Alex.
Oh yeah, they gave us a shirt.
They gave us a shirt. Honestly, I was hoping it was a Mario and Sonic themed shirt, but
Me too.
it was basically a very Sega was a console themed shirt.
Sega throughout the years.
Yeah, pretty much. Which I mean is cool.
I'm not a huge Sega fan, but I think it's nice.
It's cool. It is nice. I'll probably just use it for my pajamas, but I mean,
hey, that's an honor.
I appreciate
that is an honor. That means it's comfy.
It is. But I appreciate the thought put into it or anything. So I mean, hey, I can't be mad. Free shirts,
free exercise.
Where
can you go wrong?
Exactly. And after that, I think
after that,
walked out.
Yeah, after that, we basically took a lift, and now we're back here.
Yeah, because literally we walked out at exactly 7:00.
Yeah. Yeah, so all in all, I think it was a pretty satisfying day. Link's Awakening was obviously the highlight for me. And I feel a lot more excited about that game's release. When is that coming out, actually? September?
I think it's coming out this year, right? It has to be.
It's coming out later this year. I'm not exactly sure of the release date. But whenever that is, I am super excited to finally dive into my first 2D Zelda game. The demo was really good, and I can't wait. So, I think that pretty much wraps up our second day of E3. All in
well.
all, it's been going great so far. Tomorrow, for me, definitely going to be booking it to Luigi's Mansion because I want to play that game. Not only because it looks good and spooky finally and a whole bunch of other things, but they also have this really cool looking setup where the game is being demoed. So like when you walk in, it's this
dark mansion.
Dark, like haunted mansion sort of thing. You have ghosts flying around all over the... It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
What's the word they have with the light they use?
Black lights?
They have black lights.
Yeah, it's like really dark in there and spooky, just like the game is. Yeah. And I'm definitely gonna be taking pictures and video of that tomorrow, when we get a chance to do that. So I'm excited for that tomorrow. Tomorrow as well. Tomorrow. God, it's it's a day.
It is.
It's been a day, but tomorrow is gonna be the final day, and we're gonna make the most of it. So, anyways, is there anything else you wanted to add before we take off for the day?
I mean, other than the fact that it was a pretty chill day. It pretty much was day one all over again, where we waited in line for a very copious amount of time to play a really big title. We got to play it. We got some cool swag out of it.
Yeah.
Then just did a bunch of extra stuff. I feel like I hope that's not what tomorrow is. Where it's mostly we get to do a little bit more stuff on the side.
Yeah,
I know there's
I think
there's like one or two people that want to meet me that either I'm meeting or would want to meet tomorrow. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Cool.
But that's a wrap.
All right. Well, day 2, it's officially a wrap. I want to thank our friend ShadowLink here for joining us for another nightly chat about our E3 experience, and I will leave all of his links to his social media as normal down in the description below. Feel free to drop him a sub, a follow, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
I will heart you and ooh-woo you.
He will heart you and ooh-woo you. You will take that as you will. So, we're going to go ahead and watch anime for the rest of the night. So thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us for this little chat. And feel free to let us know down in the comments which games you're most excited about. I don't know.
Ready.
Link's Awakening. Is it good? Is it bad? Have you played a 2D Zelda game? Feel free to let us know.
No.
I would love to discuss with you.
In the meanwhile. Ooh.
Forgot you had that on your head this whole time. All right. So, wait. What is that thing? Oh, yeah. I forgot. There's one thing I'll have to say before we take off. And that is...
As always... he's alecandstuff. And we will see you
Wait,
guys.
no, who are you?
I'm Shadow.
Oh, yeah, all right. And we will see you all again tomorrow.
Real soon.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same.
Okay, well, you know what? Now that I've upset him, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. So, bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Oh.